Deodits. Hello, magical ones. Welcome to the Fairy Stitch vlog. I'm Fairy, and I'm having computer trouble today, so I hope that this doesn't black out or have a problem. I apologize if it does, but hopefully it doesn't. It's already done it once. This is the second time I'm recording this, so we will see. But welcome. We thank you so much for tuning in today. And today we're doing the magical episode, and we're going to bake something magical, I hope. I hope. Inspired by Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling's wonderful series. I'm a big fan. I still have to read the books. I know you're thinking you're a big fan, but you haven't read them. Yes, I know you're right, but I can't afford them right now. But I am a big fan of the movies. So, I watch those as often as I possibly can. And so I found this recipe online. I forget the source. It was through Facebook. And I was very interested because I wanted to try what they were always talking about, the butterbeer recipes. I guess it's a big deal in the wizarding world, magical amusement parks, and I guess she mentions it in the book. It is mentioned once in one of the movies, but that's it. It's really brief. It's really quick. So, but I was interested, and I thought I want to know what that is and try it. Well, anyway, there's an endless search for, and little Fairy is singing back there. There's an endless amount of recipes online for the butterbeer. So, due to my economic limitations, as you know, if you're a returning viewer, things have not improved, and monetarily for me. So, I have to find the most easiest recipe, quickest, and the most economical for me. And I did find one. So we're going to bake that up today. For the very first time, I'm baking it with you. I've never done it before. I'm hoping it turns out good. But keep in mind, I do have to still do the poor man version of this recipe. I can't afford all the ingredients, and it's mainly for the frosting. But we'll get into that. So, today, like I say, we are going to sprinkle some fairy dust and conjure up something I hope that tastes wonderful and that we can enjoy. And feel free to write it down as we do it. So, let me wave my wand and cast the spell that no other problems with the computer happens and that it turns out good. And we will begin in just a moment. Okay, so I am back, and alrighty, so again, I don't know the source of the website. It was through Facebook, but it was one of those where it's a link and it takes you to it. So I kind of lost track of where I was being taken. But anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna read you the recipe. And again, like I say, when I get to the frosting part, that's where I have to do my version. But I will read you the whole recipe. Okay, so what we need is yellow cake mix, check, 3 eggs, vegetable oil, a little sticky. Be careful. My kitty just walked past me. Okay, vegetable oil. We need, it says vanilla cream soda. The only thing I could get was cream soda, so I hope that will work. It's the same thing, I think. It's just not, it doesn't say it's vanilla, but it's all I could get, so we're going to use it. Brown sugar, and then it says a 3.4 ounce box of instant butterscotch pudding mix. Now, I couldn't get that, but I got some pudding cups. So, it only needs 6 teaspoons, so hopefully that will work. Butter, and then butterscotch syrup sundae syrup or caramel. I couldn't get the butterscotch, but I got caramel, so that's for the top. Okay, now the ingredients that you need for the frosting, and again, that's where I'm doing the poor man. I just bought a vanilla frosting tub, and maybe I can add a little bit of extract to it. I'm hoping. We'll see. Okay, but what you're going to need for the frosting is a half a teaspoon of butter extract, which I did get somewhere. Here we go. Boom. Yeah, butter extract. Okay. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 4 cups of powdered sugar, and then a 1/4 cup of milk or heavy cream. Now that one did say it was optional. I will read you the recipe though, so you can write it down. Again, I won't be doing that part, but I will read it to you so you have it. Yeah. Okay, so the first things first. Let's do the cake, and then we'll deal with all the icing changes. Okay, so preheat the oven at 350 degrees. Then it says line a muffin pan. And I was starting to do that when my computer died and I had to redo this whole thing again. I don't know what it was doing. Maybe it was doing an update and I didn't know it because it doesn't tell you when it's doing an update. And it might have just decided, yeah, I need to shut you off so I can redo this. But that was bad timing. Anyway, modern technology. Okay, come on, liners. So I'm just using some paper cupcake liners. Charcoal is running around like a nut in the other room. I can hear her little collar bell ringing. We'll talk about all of that, why she's doing that, in my next vlog video. So please check that out when it's done. I haven't done it yet, but it will be. Okay. Come on. Alright, very good. Alright, so we are lined now. Okay, we're lined. Okay, next step. So, in a large bowl, it says, beat for 2 minutes. Okay, it says to beat it. So I guess you could do it by hand. You might be able to do a hand mixer. I'm going to go ahead and use my electric mixer. Alright, here's my big bowl. Oh, and I forgot, like I said this in the first video, or the first time I videoed this, and I forgot it just now. This is the first time I've ever made this. You and I are making this one for the first time together because like I said, I only just got it, wrote it down, and then had to get ingredients. So, yeah, this is the first time I'm baking this. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but we're doing it together. Okay, so let's lower this a little bit. Turn this a little bit. I hope you can hear me. I'm trying to be as loud as I can. I ordered a microphone. The darn thing came, and it turned out it was the wrong one. So I had to get rid of it. And I can't afford to buy a new one right now. Try again. So I will try to be as loud as I can. Alright, so it says, put in the mixed into the bowl. Okay, yellow cake mix going in. Okay, next thing is 3 eggs. 3. So I need to grab those. Alright, 3 eggs. Whoops. Number 2. Oh, jeez. Ignore that. Number 3. Okay, 3 eggs. Alrighty. Okay, next thing is, it says half a cup of vegetable oil. So my vegetable oil, I need half a cup. Where's my half a cup? There it is. Got my measuring cup. Okay, half a cup. We hear you, Faerie girl. Okay, half a cup of vegetable oil is in. Yeah, it is. I know. I know, Faerie, I know. Okay. Now it says 1 cup of the cream soda. So let me get that. Got my cup. Faerie, you're a comedian. Big mouth, but you're a comedian. Okay, I'm just gonna let the fuzz go down a little bit. So let me do that. Okay, needs a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Right, in we go. Okay. Alright, so cream soda, 1 cup. That went in. Now we need brown sugar. Okay, so let me grab that. Okay, so I've got my brown sugar here. It says half a cup. Yeah. Oops. There we go. Okay. Half a cup of brown sugar. Alright, so that's in there. Next thing is we need half a cup of room temperature butter. Okay, so I need to get my butter. Butter, butter. Alright. Butter. Okay, now, it says room temperature. Well, I think the only way I can do that is I'm going to put it in the microwave. Okay, that's accomplished. Now I just gotta get it in a cup. Oops. Whoops. Some of it melted, some of it didn't. Okay, I think actually I might have enough of this stick to make it half. Cool, okay. Well, good. I don't have to take the guesswork out of it. We just have to get it all in there. I made a mess. Okay, so we have half a cup of butter finally. In we go. Keep those just in case I end up needing them. Let's put this away. Butter all over everything. Now I have butter all over everything. Yep, people, this is in real time. Well, I can't use magic for everything, right? Busier than a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest. Sometimes. Okay. Alright, let's go. Next thing is... Oh, maybe that's it. Okay, cool. No, wait a minute. I did forget. I forgot. Let me run down this thing again. Okay, we got the brown sugar. I did the butter. Yes, that's what I forgot. Where's the pudding cups? Okay, good thing I caught it. Da -da 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 -da, da -da. Snap that. Okay. Now, this says you need, like I say, the 3.4 ounce box of instant pudding or 6 tablespoons. So butterscotch pudding cup, I'm going to use 6 tablespoons because that's what I have. I didn't buy the box. I couldn't get it. It might have been out of stock at the time. So I had to do what I could do. Okay. Alright, tablespoon, yes, okay. I need 6, so, oops, 1, 2, 3, okay. I always wondered how much you get in this, so that says it. You only get about 3 tablespoons in a cup. Interesting. Okay, alright, that answers that question. And now I got nowhere to put it. Jeez. I don't want to drop it. I don't want to put it on the... I'm making a mess. Bloody hell. Okay. No, truly a child I am not. I never said I was. I know, Faerie, you don't have to agree with me. Yeah. Cry. Sometimes I think she thinks she's Johnny Cash. Because she just cries all the time. Okay, this was, oh shit. This was tablespoon 3, right? Somebody tell me. I think it was 3. Yeah, that's right. I was starting 3. There wasn't quite enough. I think. Oh well. All right. 4, 5. All right, we have just enough for 6. If I hadn't already done it, just because bloody hell. All right, 6. There we go. I hope. Oh man. Okay. uh, Alright, so now all the ingredients are in here. So what I'm going to do is put it on the electric mixer. It says to beat it for 2 minutes. Good thing I'm not using a stick. And then we'll see, then I'll have to pour it into the pan, I think. So let's do that. Just going to do it on the slow setting for just a few seconds while I put this in the fridge. Okay. Alright, so then I'm going to turn on the oven. Okay, 350. Okay, that's to beat for 2 minutes. Alright, then we pour it into the pan. Okay. Just 1 more minute. There we go. So it's smooth and creamy. And extra stir. Okay, now I need to pour everything in the pan. So let's move this a little bit so I have some space. There we go. And it says to fill them about 3/4 of the way. I just do it by eye. I never measure. But my way works. Smells good. Alright. There we go. It looks like there's plenty of batter, so you can make probably 24 of these in one shot. I only have, I think, this one muffin pan, so at least I think I do. I can look. So I'd have enough to make another batch, obviously. So there's enough. There's enough to make 24 of these guys doing this. So that's good. Oops. Okay. Alright, so that gets 12 of them. Okay, let me just see if I have another pan. Okay, I don't. I don't have another one. So, these are ready to go in. Alrighty. So, it says bake for 15 to 17 minutes at 350. So I'm going to put in for 15 and then check them. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so while that's doing that, I'm going to read you the instructions that's here to, to make the frosting, which I'm not doing because I'm using the tub. But for you guys, and for me at another point, I just won't do it today. Again, you need, it says in another bowl, you're going to combine the 1/2 teaspoon of butter extract, the hold on, butter versus sauce, yeah, Okay. Hmm. All right. Well, according to this, and I copied it down. According to this, it says in the second bowl, you're going to combine the butter and the butterscotch sauce, but it didn't list that. Weird. Why would you put the syrup in it? That doesn't make sense. That's what it said. Hmm. According to the directions, it says combine the butter and the butterscotch topping sauce, the syrup sauce I mentioned, into the frosting recipe. I don't think that's right. I think that goes on the top like a drizzle, when you're done. But that's what it says. But if I were gonna do it, I'd skip that part. That's just my choice. Then it says combine the butter and the vanilla extracts. That makes sense. Okay. Put that in there with and mix with the till it's cream. You mix it for 30 seconds until it's creamy. Huh? God, that's what it says. That's what it wrote. That's what I copied. This is weird. Well, that's what it says, people. I don't know. Let's start over here. I'm just going to read you what it says. Then I'm going to tell you what I would do when I'm going to make it. Not today, but another day. Okay, second bowl. Combine the butterscotch topping sauce with brown. It didn't list the brown sugar in the top. What? This does, this does not make sense because it didn't list that. It didn't list that again. This is really wonky. This does not make sense at all. Now that I'm reading this, like I say, I just copied it down quick. I didn't really think about it. That don't make sense. And it doesn't tell you how much to use for that. Weird. I don't know, people. I don't know what to tell you. This is just strange. It says anyway to mix in brown sugar, which it didn't tell you how much to use. It doesn't tell you that. With butter, vanilla extract mix till creamy for 30 seconds. Then you add the powdered sugar 1 cup at a time. Then add milk or cream if it gets too thick. Then after you frost the cake and they're cooled down, you drizzle on the sauce. That is just weird. I don't know. Maybe you guys make more sense of that than I do. But I mean, it mentions using brown sugar again, but it didn't tell you in the ingredient list you were going to need brown sugar in 2 places. So it doesn't tell you how much to use. I don't know. That is strange. I don't get that. So, you know what? When I get around to making the the icing myself, this is how I would do it. And it's up to you if you want to do it this way or not. But if I was going to do it, what I'm going to do is what I'm going to do, I think, when I get around to doing it is I'm going to put in, it says you need 4 cups of powdered sugar. So I'm going to put in 1 cup of powdered sugar, then add the ½ teaspoon of butter extract and the 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and keep beating it then it says add powdered sugar 1 cup at a time. So I'll add the second powdered sugar cup, let it beat, add in, I think I'll go ahead and add heavy cream. It says 1/4 cup heavy cream. So I'll add that too at that point. Then I'll add the rest of the powdered sugar. Keep beating it. And yeah, I think that'd be it. I'll just beat it until it's creamy until you get like a frosting um, consistency. And I've done that before. If you've seen my baking episodes where I did uh, the strawberry cream cake or the blueberry cream cake, I made the frosting by hand, which is very similar to this, except that one made sense. And so, I'll just follow that idea. But that's what it says. So that's what I will try to do and see how it turns out. Like I say, I just don't have the ingredients to do all that today. I don't have the cream. Now it says you can substitute 1/4 cup milk instead of cream, but the milk, it says, would make the frosting thinner. It's going to make it, I would think it's going to make it wetter and less, it's going to lose some of its body, It's going to be more wishy-washy. So it just depends how thin you want it or how thick you want it. But I would go with the cream. And cream, when it gets whipped, it's not heavy. It's not a heavy whipped cream anyway. So I would use cream, and I'm going to have to make a note of it here. But yeah, I think that's what I would do. So it's up to you how you want to do it, how you want to try it. Today, like I say, and make it easier, I'm just going to use the tub. I'm just going to use the tub. And I'll add some butter extract to it because it's vanilla frosting, and I'll just add a little, and we'll see how it goes. All I can do is try. But anyway, yeah. Okay, so how many more minutes have we got? 6 minutes. Okay, well, I'll rejoin you in 6 minutes. So I just checked the cupcakes. They're still in the oven. They're still a little bit, they're not quite there yet. So I'm going for the 17-minute time instead of 15. So another 2 more minutes, I think. And no, you're not ready yet. Again, 2 more minutes. There we go. Okay, so we'll check it in 2 more minutes. Now, I got my icing set up. So I'm using my little vanilla icing tub. I did add a little bit of vanilla extract. It said 1/2 teaspoon. So I poked some holes through the icing with a toothpick, my cupcake picker, and I put a couple holes in and then poured the extract in there and then blended it. And the extract actually made the frosting a little bit softer because this was already at room temperature anyway, but maybe if I'd started with it being in the refrigerator, it might not have been so wishy-washy right away. But then again, it could just be the temperature. We are getting warmer out here, so it's possible. But anyway, I just blended it, and it's, still got its consistency. So this is, and I can smell the butter a little bit. It's subtle, which is good. So yeah, so that is ready to go. I just have to wait for the cupcakes to come out. They have to cool. They have to cool down a little bit. Then we can ice them. So I'm just waiting for this to check out. So we will come back with you as soon as I get all this procedure done and see how they turn out. The cupcakes are still in. I put them in for another 2 minutes. I tried to pull them out, and I'm looking at them, and they're not keeping their shape. I think they're still too wet on the inside. So I think what happened is lesson learned. Next time, not to substitute the pudding instant powder for the cups, or vice versa. Don't use the cups. I think they just made them too wet, so they're having a hard time baking through. Baking completely inside. So lesson learned. I won't do that again. But darn it. But anyway, we'll see how it turns out. As long as they taste good, that's the main thing. But they've got to hold their shape. And as I was trying to get them out, they're kind of going, oh, and I'm like, okay, you're not ready. It's like with my apple cinnamon muffins, which I know I did a recipe about. The apples really make that cupcake mix soft. So you need to put them in longer. So please check out that episode. It's still here on my channel. It's the apple cinnamon muffins. I make the same recipe for the blueberry muffins, but the blueberry ones weren't as wet, I don't think. They actually get a little bit denser. You need to lighten them a little. But the apples, because it's so, you need almost a full apple, it really makes that batter softer. And apparently the instant or the pudding cups already being liquid, I guess, it's just made them too soft. So just so you know, and that was, like I said, this is the first time I ever made this, and I had to do it what I could get, what was available. So yeah, next time I know to buy the box like it said, and let's see how that turns out another time. But lesson learned. Okay, so it has, oh, I need to check them. So let me do that since we're already here. Well, the pick comes out clean, but I don't know. I have to pull them out and look at it again. So let's do that. Well, they're more of a golden brown on the top, so the tops are baking. I don't want to burn the tops, so it's like, when do I stop, So let's let them cool, and maybe that'll help them firm up a little bit. We'll go from there. Ah, good news. Good news. Yay. Okay, they're a little bit firmer. They're holding their shape. Yay! So it needed that extra few minutes. And then we'll just let them cool down. But I got to put the next batch in anyway, because I only have one pan. So I can do that while we're waiting for these little guys to chill out. Then we can proceed with the frosting stage. Ooh, you guys are hot. We know. We're hot little guys. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's much better. Whoops. Yep. Okay, cool. So let me line this, do the next batch, and we'll be back. So these little guys have been cooling for a few minutes. So I thought what I would do is sample one, just unfrosted, just to see what it tastes like, and then we could add on. Pretty good. I can smell all the flavors, but it's subtle. Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Hmm. The very centers are still a little bit soft. Again, I think it was the pudding cup that made them just too liquidy. So next time I'll know to use the box like I said. Okay, not bad. I think Matthew will like these. I'll have to have him try one later. I know he'll say, "Oh yeah, I'll try it just later." No use asking him now. Okay, just a little bit, just a dab. Mhm. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. So I just need to ice them and put the caramel on the top and see how it really turns out. They're good. Okay, so when you're ready to ice them, it says you can use a icing piping bag, which I don't have. Although the poor man version is to buy a little Ziploc or get a little Ziploc bag, a little sandwich Ziploc. You put the icing in that, trim the edge, trim the little corner here, and you squeeze it out like that. I have done that. It's still messy. I have done that. Um, but I think what I'm gonna do, because sometimes this will work as well. I'm just gonna do this. I need to make the icing last because it turns out I still got a bunch of batter left. So there's probably enough left to make 30 cupcakes, maybe 36 if I make them smaller. But there's definitely enough to make 30, and so I made 24. I just put in the second 12 batch. So yeah, so it made a lot. It was good batter. So let me do this for you here. I just swirl it out. Somebody's motorcycle making a noise out there. Get a muffler. Okay, so I'm just gonna swirl. Okay, I'm just kind of swirling into a dabble, little dabble. Whoops. You are on your side. You're not going to take this. No. Whoops. Whoops. Oh, damn it. There we go. Bloody hell. Okay, so that gets these guys. Now, it says to dribble on either caramel sauce topping or butterscotch. I've got caramel. Now, if I put it, no, I don't need to. One thing about the caramel topping that I've learned, because I use it a lot for sundaes, is the caramel doesn't always need to go into the microwave to soften up. It's usually pretty soft. If you leave it at room temperature out of the refrigerator, it's already pretty soft. I really don't need to do it. So I'm not going to, because it's just, if I did that, it would just melt and run all over everything. It's going to make a mess. So let's try this. I'm going to just stick in my little stick here and see what I can do. It's not going to make it really thick, but that's okay. The idea is supposed to be a little pretty garnish anyway. It's not supposed to take over. Yeah. And I'm just drizzling it on like it said. Yeah. Yeah, it's subtle, it's pretty. Let's try this little guy here. Okay. Okay, a couple more. Yeah, okay. Last one for right now. Yay! Okay, cool. Alright, now let's try it. Let's got all those little guys. Now let's try the full thing here. The full... No, not you, Faerie. Nope. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could really taste the butterscotch now. And the carameling really added to it. So yeah, you need the caramel drizzle. Wow, that really spruced it up. It's good. It's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. I really like that. Wow. Cool. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah. Wow, those were good. Yeah, it needs the caramel drizzle, but it helped bring out more of the butterscotch. So yeah, yay! All right, so I'm gonna flash cold them here and they'll firm up. So I just put them in the freezer for about 5 to 10 minutes, just to help firm them up really quickly. Then I'll put them in the fridge or put them in a container. But yeah, that was really good. The frosting and the caramel added to it because then it brought out more of the butter flavor. I could taste the butterscotch a little bit better. And then you get that wonderful sweetness of the caramel at the very end. And you don't need a lot. Like I said, it just drizzled on like it recommended. And it was just enough. It gave it enough pop. So, wow, really good recipe. That's great. Like I say, I cheated on the icing, but that's okay. Another time I'll make it and I'll make it completely from scratch and kind of tweak it like I told you, and let's see how it turns out at that point. But using just adding the butter extract to the tub of vanilla, that worked. So I liked it. I liked it. Okay, so terrific. So I'm gonna finish baking and I gotta get the picture done for the thumbnail for this. I keep feeling like I'm forgetting something. Oh, what did I forget? Did I forget something? Feels like I did. But anyway, yeah, it was good. Yeah. Now I gotta try to find a recipe for the actual butterbeer drink to try it. So I need to hunt that down if I can. But anyway, there's our Harry Potter episode. So thank you so much for tuning into this. I really appreciate it. I hope you like it. I hope you have success with the recipe when you give it a shot. If you decide to twist it, tweak it, whatever, let me know. Tell me what you did. We'll compare notes. But in the meantime, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you're brand new to the channel, this is first time checking us out. Let me just recap. I sometimes forget to do that, but I'm Faerie. I'm an artist. I'm a knitter. I'm a multimedia artist as well these days. So I combine a lot of things. I embroider. I raise sunflowers. We are working on a project called the Faystone Garden Project. We have Facebook pages for all of my stuff if you're interested. The Faerie Stitch vlog is a page on Facebook where I do a lot of my blogging. Not everything I do or write about there ends up here, and vice versa. Not every video becomes a blog, so it's kind of good to have both, access to both. I have an art page called Fae Ice Art, because that's also my artist name. And I have like I say, the Faystone Garden page. And that is all about our garden that I'm working on and trying to remodel and design. And it's. And if you'd like to donate to us, we have a PayPal. which is secure. It works fine. I've got some donations from people. I made an art sale, so that they paid through that. It worked out good. So, yay! So, stay in tune. Check out our blog. Please subscribe to the channel. Check back on the old videos. New ones are coming. Got some DIYs and some other information. And so you never know what you're going to get or when you're going to get it, because I don't have a schedule. But if you subscribe, then you'll know. So thank you so much for this magical day of joining us fairies out here. And we hope you have a very good day. We'll see you in the next one, knock on wood. And thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. We appreciate you. So, good luck to you. Slán. Bye for now.